hey everybody, I'm Andy the Kenworth Guy. Thanks for coming by the channel today. So today we're going for a little drive. It's a little bit chilly here, but that's okay. We are staying warm in Winnipeg here. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to the channel here yet, make sure you do that. Just click on that little subscribe button there. It's going to be flashing in the bottom. Check that out. But today we are looking, man, that's rattling like crazy. Today we are looking at this. This is a brand new Kenworth 2021 T680. So let's take a little look at it and see what it's all about. All right, so like I said, this is a brand new 2021, just arrived. We have not done anything to this truck yet. It just showed up. We checked it in from the driveway company and we are showing it to you. So this is one of a few trucks. I have a couple of different specs here in stock. I'll kind of explain the differences between all of them to you here today. So starting right up at the front here, we have the aluminum metal mesh grille. That's standard surrounding the radiator, and that is protecting it really nicely. So that's aluminum metal mesh. It's about freezing temperature outside right now, 0 degrees Celsius, 34, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is a heavy duty design. This here is not gonna bust or crack. It's not plastic in any way. As far as the bumper, it is the in-mold color bumper. So that in-mold color, that's how they come when you buy a new piece. So this kind of shows you what that would look like. So if you damage one piece of the bumper, you see the seam down the middle, you buy one piece, it comes in mold, and then you paint that. Now we bring these in here without paint on them so that you can change the bumper. A lot of customers go to a moose bumper, and then we're not putting added cost to the truck with having a painted bumper that ends up sitting out in the shed. So that's what we got there. We did not order these trucks with the fog light cutouts, but you can actually put fog lights in that little section there if you want aftermarket. These are the standard halogen projector beam headlights. You can get the xenon headlights. These are not LED, but there are some aftermarket options that you can change to LED if you'd like after the fact. Looking at the hood, it is a three-piece design hood. It is bonded together, but if you do some minor damage and you just need to scuff up the paint here to do a repair, say on this side, you only have to paint up to that seam right there and not have to repaint the whole hood. So I really like that feature. It just saves on a lot of cost. And we even did that in the bottom here too. You notice these little seams down there. So you don't have to paint all the way down there, have it blended in the middle, and you can kind of tell, but you wouldn't in this case because you have different pieces right there. So looking at the side of the truck here, we have a 13,200 pound front axle. We have the high polish aluminum rims. So those are the additional polish, they're non-durabrites. As far as down the side here, we have the partial chassis fairing. So you got the steps right there with the batteries in behind. And then we have the chassis fairing right there with the def tank right there. Engine heater and oil pan heater on separate plugs. You can order them on the same plugs. The only thing is, when you're looking at that, you got to make sure that your outlet is rated for a 240 amp outlet because you're putting in dual, a 120 and a 120. So you got to have that 240 or a higher breaker circuit running through there. Otherwise, you'll pop your breaker. On this side, we have the solid wall here. Comes with the bug splatters at no charge. That's really interesting bug splatter. It's like purple. Wonder what kind of bug that is. I'm not a bug expert, so I wouldn't know. But anyhow, we got the solid wall here with a vent and then the jockey box, which is standard right there, all keyed alike. Down the side here, we have Your fuel tanks, 120 gallon on this side, 120 gallon on that side, with fuel tanks heaters. So those are the Arctic Fox, the dual Arctic Fox fuel tank heaters on both sides. And we also have, you can see the exhaust port right there for the factory supplied SPAR heater for the bunk. Full C-channel frame rail all the way through with the Kenworth AG400L suspension. So that's the 4-bag suspension. And we got the aluminum polished rims on the back. Michelin multi-energy D tires on the back here as well. And then this is the Holland fifth wheel, the FW35 8-inch ride height, 24-inch slider. And we set them back about 6 inches from center. So you got 18 ahead and 6 behind of the bogies, or the trunnion. That's what you call this area here, the bogies. Alrighty, on the back end here, we have your differentials. I have to double check what we put in here. And this is a 3-way locking differential on the forward axle. So you can notice there's no plungers or anything like that on the diffs here. Just put a light on it here. You can kind of see a little bit better, maybe. And but on the front diff, that's where we put the diff lock. So you can see the diff lock is right there. So that's that plunger that goes in and out to lock that differential across on your drives. We got ground exhaust right down here. And again, the full channel, full fairing on the side here. We have the emergency door with the window on the passenger side. Makes it actually quite nice to load stuff into the truck if you'd like from outside. So let's open up the hood and show you what we got underneath here. Like I said, this is one of a few different truck options that we brought in for stock, and the differences are in the engine. So I'll just show you what we got here. Any guesses? Well, it is a PACCAR MX-13. This is a 455 horsepower, 1650 torque rating. We have 2 others in stock with the Cummins 450, the X15 efficiency series. So those are sitting over there somewhere. But anyhow, so what we got under here, we have your boosting terminals, your fuel water separator right there, your air filler right here to load up your air system. And looking at the front here, we did put disc brakes on the front, drum brakes on the back. So disc brakes actually gives you a little bit better steering turning radius, just because you don't have all of this stuff kind of hanging down in this area and hitting the arm right there. Your washer fluid is right there. Your power steering is right there. Your fluid, engine oil check, your filler, fuel prime pump is right there. We have some circuits and fuses right here. And then all of your air lines basically terminate at this valve right here. So in behind this here on the other side, there's actually electric signals that go to the switches and the dashes. So when you flick a PTO or a diff lock switch, all the air is terminating out here, so you don't have air leaks inside the cab, making it a lot more efficient in your operation. Let's take a look at the other side. So this here is the hot side of the engine. You got your turbo, you got your oil spinners, your centrifugal filter and your oil filter, your coolant filter right there. There's your coolant itself, and then there is the HVAC system. Here is the push nut. That's just to clean out all the dust that gets in the system, and then access to the HVAC system is right there. So enough about the details on the outside and the truck itself. Let's take a look on the inside and show you how we spec these trucks out. All right, so the way that this truck here is set up out here, inside here, we have all this protective plastic in here. That's how it comes in from the factory, just to keep everything protected. I love doing stuff like that. I love getting new electronics and peeling the plastic off. It's kind of a weird thing, but yeah. Anyway, so we have the tan interior. This is the Vantage trim level. So basically this is the straight stitch pattern. If you order the diamond, this is a diamond pattern. We put carpet throughout. So, and again, this is how it comes from the factory. So there's the cloth seats, and these are the GT702 seats. A quick way to tell between the GT702 and 701. The 702 seat has all these controls. The 701 seat just has a small little air valve for up and down, and then a single lumbar support. This one gives you all the options where this cushion here will slide and the whole thing will tilt back and forth. And so that's what we got on the driver's seat. Passenger seat is a twin to the driver's with the swivel seat option, and I'll show you guys that here in a second. One other thing I forgot to mention is on this truck, we ordered it with a battery disconnect switch. So living in our climate here where we get extreme cold, batteries will freeze quite easily. So if you shut these off, there's no draw and less likelihood of having issues with your batteries. We have the rubber steering wheel, and your gauges, your standard gauge cluster is right there. We ordered the additional 6 gauges right there with a storage pocket. This is the new radio that we are... I won't take it off all the way. I'll let somebody else have the pleasure of doing that. But anyways, this is a new radio, Kenworth. It is a Sirius XM Bluetooth radio. They basically nixed the CD player itself. So I really like it. Nice big phone button right there. Sorry, there's a glare. I'll shut off the light. So a nice big phone button there if you want to answer your call. As far as the gauges, or the switches rather, we did almost a full package all the way across. But you got your engine fan, your cruise control, hill assist with your air traction control. Hill assist comes standard with the automatic transmission, just so you know. There's your regen switch, spare, air suspension dump, and then your power divider, your forward diff lock like I was talking about, and there is your PTO switch and a preset for your PTO switch to set it up to a maximum RPM automatically. So that's something you have to order from the factory, and then there's your fifth wheel slide right there. Down on this side here, we have your lights, your exterior lights, interior lights, and then there's your work lights on the back. And this does have the 12-speed transmission. And the way that we geared it, I'll just actually take a look over here for a second and see. Take a step down. So we have a 3-2-5 gear ratio. It's the DSP-41s, so that has an 11mm housing on the differential as opposed to the standard, the DS40. And then, yeah, it's a 12-speed Packard transmission. So the Packard transmission actually comes with a 5-year, 750,000 mile warranty. The clutch is covered for 3 years. Let's take a look in the bunk. Now I'll turn on the light, and I'll turn on the light back here so we can see a little bit better. How's that? Works? Yeah? Okay, good. So up here on this side, this is where you would put your microwave. There is a power outlet right there, a 12 volt, so that runs on the battery. If you want to run an inverter, we would put the inverter plug right there, but this is ordered without. And then this here just pops up and out of the way, just kind of goes into that little latch right there, and then you have a strap. This is where you have a little workstation. You can strap in a TV on here. We do also offer an option to have a TV wall mount. We didn't order that on this truck. Kept this truck a little bit more budget focused. And this here is another 12 volt outlet. And again, if you order a factory inverter, you basically get that plug right there. We have the rotating table, which is easy to engage. You just basically pull the little latch on the bottom right under there, and then the TV or the table kind of swivels out of the way. That allows you to access underneath the bunk, and then also gives you a nice little spot to sit. Now I'll show you how that looks under the bunk. There's your HVAC system for the sleeper. There is the factory S-bar heater for the bunk. And then if you want to order a subwoofer, that would go right there. But in this configuration, it gives you a nice open, lots of space to keep all of your stuff underneath there. So let's close up this. we have an upper bunk as well. So easy to pull that down. And you have lots of space up there. And you still actually have quite a bit of space. You know, I'm sitting up as straight as I can pretty well, and I still have room over my head. So it's not a bad configuration there. All right, so that's a little bit about that. We'll move this table out of the way. And it's actually nice and smooth. A lot of times they're a little stiffer. Maybe we've improved the bearings in there. I don't know if we have or not, but that's quite easy to move. But anyways, here is some drawers. That one is taped shut. And then same thing, we got another one on the bottom there. Ooh, I love that. There is a nice deep drawer. And then there's your refrigerator with a freezer. And that upper freezer is removable. So you can see how easy that is to slide out. And up here is the storage. You have a hanger up top here so you can hang your clothes there. And then you have nice deep pockets here to keep toiletry bags or whatever you so choose. This shelf is removable, so it's quite easy to pull out of there. I thought that there were screws in there from the factory. I guess they maybe missed that. Uh-oh. And then you have a mirror here and hanger and a couple storage pockets. So this area here, this is an option. You basically get this area standard, but you got to pick how you want this configured, with or without a door and with or without a shelf. Now, when you close this, it does keep it nice and tight. People always say, oh, it's all plastic. Well, it's a lot of the same materials that we use in our T800 and our W900 cabs on the exterior and interior products. But plastic, when it's cold, it will rattle and shake. So what we've done is we've put these little rubber pieces, and those rubber pieces compress when pushing up against this wall here, and it's not going to rattle or shake on you there. So that's a nice way that we've kind of combated that. Now on the back wall here, there's your S-bar control. You have your 12-volt power for charging your cell phone in this area. You got your fridge to turn your fridge on or off. It's not automatically on. And then you have a door lock, a night light under the bunk, and then there's the lights for up above. And then you have your controls to adjust your temperature from the sleeper here. So that's a little bit about the sleeper area here. All right, so that's it for me. That's it for this week's video. I sure appreciate you coming by to watch this video. Like I said, this is on a stock 2021 that we have. We have a few that have come in. We've ordered more to come in. So we have T680s in stock pretty well all the time, among pretty well all the other models that we sell. Hey, if you watched last week's video, had a lot of interesting comments on last week's video. About 2.5, 3 weeks ago, I surpassed 25,000 subscribers on this channel. And I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. So I kind of made a little montage video, and honestly, with Thanksgiving in Canada here last week, Monday, I never actually had a chance to shoot any videos. And sometimes it's hard for me to carve out some time to make a video like this and sit out of my office and do this. So last week, I just wanted to make a thank you video. Some people were saying, Andy, are you quitting? Like saw some, the videos were sounding kind of weird, like you were gonna quit, but no, I'm not quitting. It is something I enjoy doing. I love creating this content and showing what Kenworth is all about. So thanks for subscribing. We're at 26,000 and change now. We're continuing to grow. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, again, please do that. I sure appreciate it. If you like this truck, you like this video, give it a thumbs up. There are some people, every single video, I'm getting through 2 or 3 or 4 thumbs down. I'm curious. I'd like to see a comment to go with your thumbs down if you are so bold as to give me a thumbs down on a video. But because Kenworth is the world's best, we should be getting like a 2 thumbs up for every single truck. Enough about all this rambling. Enough about all this talking. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for watching this video. We'll catch you on next week. And as always, have yourself the world's best day.